Diffraction by the single slit. To understand this, go to figure, which shows a parallel beam of light falling normally on a single slit Ln of width small a. The diffracted light goes on to meet a screen. The midpoint of the slit is capital M. A straight line through capital M perpendicular to the slit plane meets the screen at C. We will find the intensity at any point P on the screen. As before, straight lines joining point P to the different points L, M, N, etc. can be treated as parallel, making an angle with the normal MC, as you can see in this diagram. The basic idea is to divide the slit into much smaller parts and add their contribution at point P with the proper phase differences. We are treating different parts of wavefront at the slit as secondary sources because the incoming wavefront is parallel to the plane of the slit. These sources are in phase. The path difference NP minus LP, as you can see in this diagram, between the two edges of the slit can be calculated exactly as for Young's experiment. From figure, NP minus LP is equals to NQ, and that one is equals to A sin theta, and A sin theta again is equals to A theta when angle is small. Similarly, if 2 points M1 and M2 in the slit plane are separated by Y, the path difference M2P minus M1P is equals to Y theta. At the central point C on the screen, the angle is 0. All the path differences are 0 and hence all the parts of the slit contribute in phase. This gives maximum intensity at point C. Experimental observation shown in figure indicates that the intensity has a central maxima at theta is equals to 0 and other secondary maxima at theta is equals to n plus half into lambda by A, and has minima 0 intensity at theta is equals to n lambda upon A, where n is equals to plus minus 1, plus minus 2, plus minus 3 and so on. Consider first the angle theta, where the path difference A theta is lambda. Then theta is equals to n lambda upon A. Now divide the slit into two equal halves Lm and Mn, each of size A by 2. For every point M1 in Lm, there is a point M2 in Mn, such that M1 M2 is equals to A by 2, as you can see in this diagram. The path difference between M1 and M2 at point P is equals to M2P minus M1P is equals to A theta by 2. That one is equals to lambda by 2 for the angle chosen. This means that the contributions from M1 and M2 are 180 degree out of phase and cancel in the direction theta is equals to lambda by A. Contribution from the two halves of slit Lm and Mn therefore cancel each other. Similarly, we can show that the intensity is 0 for theta is equals to n lambda upon A, with n being an integer except 0. Notice that the angular size of the central maxima increases when the slit width small a decreases. It is also seen that maxima are at theta is equals to n plus half into lambda upon a, and it becoming weaker and weaker with increasing small n. Consider an angle theta is equals to 3 lambda upon 2a, which is midway between two of the dark fringes. Divide the slit into three equal parts. If we take the first 2/3 of the slit, the path difference between the two ends would be 2 upon 3 into a theta, that one is equals to 2a upon 3 into 3 lambda upon 2a, or that one is equals to lambda. The first 2/3 of the slit can therefore be divided into two halves which have a lambda by 2 path difference. Only the remaining 1/3 of the slit contribute to the intensity at a point between the two minima. Clearly, this will be much weaker than the central maxima, where the entire slit contributes in phase. As you can see central maxima in this diagram. One can similarly show that there are maxima at n plus half into theta by a, with n is equals to 2, 3 and so on. These become weaker with increasing n, since only 1 by 5th, 1 by 7th, etc. of the slit contribute in these cases. The photograph and intensity pattern corresponding to it is shown in this figure.